we're building a real estate business in 2026, knowing what I know now about Google, Zillow, HouseCanary, and every other portal that's trying to extract value out of agents, here's the exact playbook I'd run. My name's Todd Conklin. I'm the founder of Sales Warrior Academy. I scaled our business from 2 of us in the basement of our home to more than 500 salespeople, doing more than $3 billion in annual sales. If you're looking for somebody that won't bore you with theory or some fluff that they read in a book, I think you found your channel. I'm gonna walk you through today the exact authority engine I have dozens of agents and brokerages running. In the previous video, I told you why Google's listing pilot is literally Zillow 1.0 all over again. And today, I'm gonna tell you what you should build instead. Here's the problem nobody wants to say out loud. Most agents in the industry don't actually have a business. They have a job, it's dress and activity and disguised as a business, but it's not a business. They have a CRM, they barely touch it. They probably have a website, but nobody actually visits there. Their social media account, it probably only posts what the broker provides them or nothing at all. Likely they've got a stack of leads, probably from a portal that they've paid for every month. That lead doesn't know their name, it doesn't have any rapport with them, hasn't built any trust. And if we're being honest, that lead's gonna close with whoever calls first, which is a problem because those leads get sent out to everybody. The problem is that's not a business. That's a never-ending and growing treadmill, and the minute you get off the treadmill, the minute you stop running, the business stops. And the agents that are stuck on that treadmill, they're not lazy. In fact, they're the opposite of lazy. They're not bad salespeople. They're actually really good because they've had all the reps. They aren't the problem. The problem is that they were never given a system. They were never taught to build a lead engine. Instead, what they were taught was that they were the lead engine. So what's the solution? Well, you can rent leads from some portal that did know how to install an engine, but then the portal owns the authority and the agent, all they're doing is renting attention. Here's a difference between renting attention and owning authority. When you rent attention from any of the portals, think Zillow or Realtor or Google, you're paying a toll. Every time a buyer or a seller wants to find an agent, you pay that toll and you don't own the road. Those portals own the road. And they can raise the toll tomorrow if they want. They can change the traffic path, the traffic patterns. They can put a competitor's name, another agent's name above yours. They can change the buttons. Look, bottom line is you have no leverage whatsoever. When you own authority, you are the road. Buyers and sellers come directly to you. They know your name before they ever fill out a form. They trust you before you ever had their first conversation with you. And there's no portal, no platform, no Google update that can ever take any of that stuff away from you. I mean, that's the game. Frankly, it's been the game for a really long time, but now, in today's world, it's a requirement if you want to stay in the game. You can't continue to pay somebody else to rent their authority. It's because it's theirs. So the big question is, well, how do you build this? And the answer is that you install the authority pipeline engine. We call it APE. There's 5 components to it. Each one of these is non-negotiable. I'm gonna walk you through each of them. Hopefully they'll make sense and you can build them on your own, or if you're interested, there's a link in the description below and you can just book a quick call with me and I'll walk you through exactly how we do it. But let me walk you through what it is. So the first one is a lead capture page. This is your asset. It's not somebody else's asset. It's not some other platforms or portals. It's not Zillow's. It's not Google. It's your asset and it lives on your domain and it collects information. So it collects contact information in exchange for what we call an HVPC, which is high value piece of content. And it does one thing and one thing only, and that is to convert cold traffic into a name on a list. Prospects will come to that page and they will pay for that high value content with their contact information. And most agents skip this. They send traffic straight to maybe a For You page or some web page that actually is really not a website. It's actually a web page that sits on your brokerage's site, or to some MLS search bar. They wonder why nothing converts. Well, look, the math is the path. If you don't have a lead capture page, you don't have a pipeline. You have a hope and a wish, but you don't have a pipeline. Which brings us to the second part of it, which is the authority lead magnet. Look, the lead magnet is very important. This is the thing your lead capture page is actually giving away. It's the thing that the prospect is actually looking for. It has to actually deliver real, big, massive value and hit the prospect right where it hurts. in the psyche. It's not some kind of a, hey, here's a PDF with a couple of bullet points and a sales pitch. I'm talking about something that really, really speaks to the things that they're losing sleep over, the things that they're dreaming about, the things that they even maybe haven't even put words to. Your lead magnet is effectively an audition. It's the first time that basically a stranger experiences you. They can leave one of two ways. They can either leave thinking, man, she gets me. Or if it's nonsense, weak, they basically tune out, unsubscribe, and move on. If it's strong, though, like that trust that's built, it's there before you've ever even spoken to somebody. That's the power of a great lead magnet. And it has to be decision dense. And what that means is it's got to hit them where it hurts, and then it's got to give them all of the things that align with that. It answers the questions that literally have been keeping them up at night. It positions you as the authority by showing, demonstrating, not telling them. That's the pitch. Which brings us to 3, which is the Conversion VSL. Most people don't know what a VSL is. VSL stands for the video sales letter. And real estate professionals, you and I both know 87% of the licensees don't make it in this business. Don't worry, I don't have anything to sell you here, but what I do want to do is I want to impact your life. I want to change your life. In order for you to be the top of the top, you're going to need to do some things different. And one of those things is to become part of the Sales Warrior community. Subscribe below, it's free. Really is the asset that works for you all the time, 24/7, while you sleep. This is an amazing thing. Done right, it is massive. The moment somebody goes from like landing page to downloads the lead magnet, they go to a thank you page. And on that thank you page is the VSL. It's an 8 to 12 minute video with you telling them exactly kind of what's broken and what they're thinking and what they're feeling and how their current approach is not going to get them what it is that they want, but you have the solution, and this is what you would do instead. This is where most agents, they completely lose it. What they do is they send a lead magnet, and then they miss an opportunity to move the prospect closer to what? Well, wanting to meet with you. What happens is the agent goes silent for 3 or 4 days, and then by the time they get back to the lead went from warm to ice cold again. By the time they follow up, the prospect frankly has forgotten why they even really liked you in the first place. That's why the VSL is so important, because it closes that gap in real time, and it doesn't require you to do anything. Which brings us to number 4, which is the nurture engine. This is email sequences and text sequences and retargeting ads and the whole thing. It's all automated. It's all running 24 hours a day. Most agents think that follow-up means manually texting or making phone calls. And we talked about before, most of them are waiting days. Maybe they try a few more times over the following week, but ultimately, they get to this whole point where they give up and you hear this all the time. Well, they were just bad leads. Look, they're not bad leads. They're really, really good leads. It was just a bad follow-up strategy. And a real nurture engine touches your leads 20 to 30 times in the first 21 days. It touches them with content. It gives them stories, like relevant stories, case studies, that third-party validation with testimonials. And everyone has an invitation, and that invitation is to jump on a call with you. And by the time they do, and you do have that first conversation with that person, they feel like they already know you. They've already trusted you. And then all of a sudden, the sale isn't hard. The sale is just sort of natural. It's inevitable. It's just part of the process. Which brings us to 5, which is the appointment funnel. This is where it all comes together. Every asset in the entire system points towards one outcome, and that one outcome is a booked appointment on your calendar with a qualified pre-sold lead. Wouldn't that be amazing? This all eliminates the cold calling. You don't have to cold call strangers from a portal list. That would be great. There's no more weird, awkward, just checking in text messages. That would be nice. There's no more chasing everybody. God. What this system does is it literally attracts people to you using psychological triggers, messaging that's on point, and then the appointment shows up on your calendar automatically. You walk in or log on and you just close. That's it, all of it right there. So let me show you why this is so important to the future of your business if you want to be in this business 5 to 10 more years. Because it all goes back to the 5 pillars that we teach, which is online authority, past client sphere of influence, events, farming, and social media. What we found is that APE makes all 5 of these pillars, they work together instead of living in their own silos, or worse, fighting against each other, and that friction just costs more time. So what happens is your social media content now feeds traffic to your lead capture. We got that? We just went through it. That's awesome. Your sphere of influence, your database, is now seeing you everywhere online. And what they're getting is a similar, but not the same, but a similar targeted nurture sequence, which means your past clients, now they stay warm without you having to remember to call them. That would be amazing, wouldn't it? And then your events, well, they become lead capture pages, and with the event and or a date attached to them. So now you can really retarget them. And your farming campaigns, well, they become high trust traffic sources to your lead magnets. Oh, that have already been built, that have already been structured and installed. Every pillar plugs into the one engine, and that's why it scales. Look, in order for it to scale, it can't take more of your time because you don't have any more of that time. That's why it doesn't break. That's why agents who install this go from 5 deals a year to 25 deals a year, but they're not working harder. So here's what I want you to do right now. If you're tired of paying a toll to a portal that doesn't really care about you or whether or not you actually eat or not, the link is in the description. I'll send you the exact framework we use to install APE in an agent's business that will literally launch within 21 days or less. Hey, hit the subscription button if you want more truth bombs just like this one. I'm here, I'm gonna tell you the truth. And look, if you know an agent, we all do, who's running on that treadmill just as fast as they possibly can, they're paying for portal leads, chasing returns, exhausted, do them a favor, do me a favor, send them this video. Look, before they spend another dollar in a system that's working against them, the next era, the new era of real estate, it belongs to the agents who are prepared, the ones that are building and installing engines. Do that. Stop building somebody else's empire. Make sense? Hey, hope that helps. Make sure you hit the link in the description. I'll see you on the next video.